The Detroit Tigers have rallied from a 3-0 deficit to pull even with the Mariners in their Game 4 of the American League Divisional Series. Tied up at 3 at the top of the 6th. Tigers got back-to-back doubles in the bottom of the 5th, and then Javi Baez, an RBI single, pulled Detroit even at 3. Mariners still lead the best-of-5 matchup 2-1. You can see it right now on Fox Sports 1. Just about to get underway on TBS. Brewers and Cubs in their Game 3 in the National League Divisional Series. Brewers up 2-0. Jays and Yankees on FS1 at 7 Eastern. Phils and Dodgers, their Game 3 on TBS 9 Eastern. Bengals announced Joe Flacco would be their starting quarterback for their Week 6 matchup against the Packers, while Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski would not name a backup at this time to starter Dylan Gabriel at quarterback. It'll either be Shedeur Sanders or Bailey Zappi against the Steelers in Week 6. No practice today for Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson. Cardinals quarterback Kyler Murray sat out because of a foot injury, and no practice for 49ers QB Brock Purdy. I'm Dan Byer.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, yeah is right. Woo. What a time to be alive. We got 4 big games today. There's one going on right now, all tied up. Aaron Judge is a hero.
Oh, jeez.
And props to Cal Raleigh, too. Props to the Mariners for their big win yesterday. But, man, the Yankees, can't wait to see what happens today with Schlittler on the mound. But
how do you say his name?
Schlittler.
Not like Big Poppy, who awkwardly was like, Hitler? It's like, what are you doing,
Sounded
Poppy?
like Hitler. What
are we doing?
Yeah. Bad joke, Poppy. And we'll be right back after the break, Poppy.
No one else
so
laughed.
Sorry.
Everyone on the set laughed at it.
That was so
It was a little
awkward.
awkward. Yeah,
We're Covino and Rich, and we be rocking out. Let's go. Broadcasting live from the Fox Sports Radio studios. If you miss any of today's show, you want to catch the podcast, search Covino and Rich wherever you get your podcast. And after the show, Danny G puts our best of up. Everything's there. Covino and Rich rate it 5 stars because we appreciate it. And join us on YouTube. There's a live chat going on. Join in. Talk some smack.
Hold on, my alarm's going off. I'm like Derek Jeter.
Oh,
Sorry. I had parent-teacher conference. Did you see that, too?
I did.
First time he looked like a human being. I was like, oh, wow, Jeter's not a robot?
I think Poppy, Jeter, A-Rod, and our former colleague, the guy with the biggest BDE we ever seen, Kevin Burkhardt, do a stellar job together.
Yeah.
And we worked with Burkhardt back at SNY in New York in 2013, 2014, and he really did have noticeable swag, and he was always gracious and always cool, so no surprise that he's slaying it today.
A super talent.
Yeah.
Kevin Burkhardt.
Props to
and
him.
A guy that never let his success go to his head. If I text or DM Kev, he'll hit me right back like, hey, Kev. Hey,
Kev.
Tell Cove I said hi.
Oh,
look at that.
wow.
So congrats to Kevin Burkhardt for all his success. But I do think that you're right. Big Poppy is sort of MLB's version of Shaq.
That's right. I could be he. And he even had nice things to say about the Yankees yesterday. Even Jeter said wonderful things about another captain, which is odd to see in Aaron Judge. So I hope you had an Aaron Judge home run double take kind of night. When I say double take, that was his subliminal way of saying, shut up, haters. Take a hike, you losers. Zip it, anybody thinking that he wasn't the guy. If you thought he wasn't him, he is. And if I ever give you a double take, that's what I'm telling you. Beat it, loser.
All right, we're going to get to Aaron Judge. We're going to get to NFL. We're going to get to a guy that grew 2 inches.
Whoa. Where? That was me after that home run last night. I was so excited, man. I thought he was going to knock that foul pole down.
Whoa.
I was
What'd
so
you do? You
pumped.
just got on a step stool in your living room?
Yeah. No. Yeah, that's it, Danny.
Covino had his own foul pole after that.
Yeah. But seriously, I was so pumped. And I don't care if you like the Yankees or not, because I'll give props where they're due. Vladimir Guerrero, on the flip side, is doing everything he can to lift his team, that dive to home plate, he got airtime.
Dude.
He was airborne. That big slug was in the air for at least 2 minutes, safe at home, getting his team fired up. The Blue Jays are battling, and if you can't give credit to Aaron Judge turning his hands on that inside fastball coming in at 100 miles per hour, a foot inside, turning and hitting a home run, that was like a Carlton Fisk moment. Everything about – this is all I have to say. Everything about that moment from a baseball perspective was awesome.
Yeah.
The call, the camera shot, the zoom in on Aaron Judge right before the pitch, that look in his eye, the moment, everything, the crowd, I loved it. It was so cool, man. So cool to see, and that's the beauty of the postseason ghost season.
Baseball.
Was that Joe Davis making that call?
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
That's a good one.
You know, me, I love to swing from the Mets broadcast team, Gary, Keith, and Ron, but Joe Davis, I think, might be your best play-by-play guy in baseball. The Dodgers lucked out in getting Joe Davis, and he's a young dude. He's in his, I believe, late 30s still, so congrats to Joe Davis on really painting a great picture. And Vladdy's grand slam, Judge's 3-run home run, these are the great postseason moments we live for. And these are the moments we remember visually, audibly. And I got to ask Dan Byer, because I know Dan Byer's a Rich Davis guy these days. What's up, DB?
Oh, believe me.
What up, bud?
It's temporary. You can only take so much of Rich Davis. He's grading to the ears.
True. Dan, I'll grade on you by the end of today. You and I both have a big interest in uniforms, helmets, end zones, stadium design. Like it's our little sports quirk. How do you feel about, and I am not a traditionalist with most things in sports. I usually like evolution and change. I feel like a lot of times it's good. Do you like alternate uniforms in the playoffs?
No.
Dude, we're the same guy. I said,
Not at all.
I'm watching the game now, and
I
I'm
could
like,
have predicted that.
and I said, I love it during the season, but why are the Mariners wearing like a navy road jersey? They should be wearing the road grays right now.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, what I don't mind is, so like the Rose Bowl, when it was the Rose Bowl, I remember when Purdue made it, they would have a little rose through the P logo on their helmet. Utah did the same thing. And like, there's little things that you can do there, but to sit there and say, we're going to wear our road black uniforms, the alternates, in a huge game because you want to be tough and mean. No, just wear your normal uniforms.
Yeah, I always think of one of the most memorable moments in NBA history, LeBron James with that block off the backboard. The Cavs are wearing their weird alternate jerseys with the big C on them.
I was just going to say, that's the reason, too, because these are the clips that live on.
Yeah.
Forever.
The clips live on, and if you're not wearing your traditional jerseys, it's sort of odd looking back.
I think if it's close enough, I don't care as much. Now, I know you guys eliminated the Red Sox, but you know how the Red Sox wear that hideous uniform once in a while? It was like yellow and blue or something. Like, it just doesn't go with anything.
City Connect, yeah.
With their softball shorts.
Yeah. I just feel like in those moments, what are we doing? And by the way, I don't want to steal Dan Byer's update thunder, but DB, take a look-see.
Yeah, the Tigers have just taken a 4-0 lead, or a 4-3 lead. Riley Green coming back from a 3-0 deficit.
And again, another wonderful thing about the postseason is not just the Aaron Judges and the Cal Raleighs that have to come through, and I believe Jeter made that point. Everyone giving Judge a hard time. He was batting 400-something. Now he's batting 500-something and is still not good enough. It takes the whole team. It takes the role players. You got Green here doing something big. You got Ernie Clement on the Blue Jays playing like he's an MVP. You got these dudes stepping up, and that's what these teams need. You need your Edmonds. You need your,
Kike Hernandez
Kike's to step up. You need those dudes, and that's part of it, and that's the fun of it. And we hope you're enjoying it as much as we are, because last night, between Cal Raleigh going off and between Aaron Judge's almost foul home run,
I mean, I don't know. I'm still Cal Raleigh for MVP, considering he hit his home run to a guy that had a shirt that said, "Hit your home run here."
Yeah, dump it here.
Dump it here, number 61.
That was pretty remarkable. But, you got to love this stuff. And we'll talk more about it as the day goes on. Aaron Judge is coming through big. That really was the story. And if you're still hating on it or moving the goalposts like that wasn't a big moment, what kind of big moment happens in the ALDS? I mean, beat it, dude. Tell me you hate Aaron Judge without telling me you hate Aaron Judge. That was a big moment. Does it mean less if they don't move forward? Yeah, of course. But that was still a moment to shut everybody up. The guy's batting over 500 now, so stop hating on the guy.
It'll mean even more if the Yankees somehow win tonight, force a game 5, and who knows?
And it's a bullpen game for the Blue Jays, so I'm thinking, and I'm not one to get ahead of myself, Rich, I'm thinking that they have a great shot with Schlittler on the mound tonight to win it, force it back to Toronto, and take the Yankees Blue Jays out of it. I want game 5s for everybody. Let's go.
You get a game 5. You get a game 5. We all get game 5.
Why wouldn't we want that? MLB wants that.
Yeah.
TV ratings, everybody wants it. Concessions wants it. It's fun for everybody.
I do have a question for Covino, though.
Yeah.
Because for a team like the Yankees, who pride themselves in the 27 World Championships, I felt that last night people were trying to make this the moment for Aaron Judge. It was a moment. But did you get the sense at all that people were going overboard in trying to make it the moment for Judge to cement his legacy?
I feel you. I do. I totally feel you. And here's why I say no. Because we love, and I love, and I think everyone who's a baseball fan should love Aaron Judge that much. He's such a likable dude that you're just pulling for him to have his big moment because you know how great he is. You know what he's capable of. And I think he took at the camera and pointed because he's like, I am that guy. And we all want him to be that guy. So maybe we are making more of a moment, but it was a key moment. Yankees were down 6-1. They tied it up. And then the yawning Jazz Chisholm hits their first go-ahead home run. And then what was the score, Rich? Then what was
6-7.
6-7.
I will say this though, to back what DB's saying, and I don't want to rain.
Get what DB's
I don't want to
saying.
rain on your Aaron Judge parade of fun, but if I hope this doesn't happen for your sake and for baseball. But if the Blue Jays win tonight, Yankees lose the series 3-1, and whoop-it-a-doo, Judge hit a 3-run home run.
But
I think
that was his biggest criticism.
But I think for a guy, well, let me finish. For a guy whose only real criticism has been, well, dude, Aaron Judge is a Hall of Famer already, legend, a beast, one of the top probably 20 players of all time, maybe even better. Aaron Judge is making his way.
You're about to move the goalpost again.
No, but what
Yes,
I'm
you
saying is
are.
he hasn't had any signature big moment, so I think this is a great first signature big moment. Now, you need more than that. You need a...
Okay, so you're moving the goalpost. So now he needs 5 signature moments.
It's kind of surprising. This reminds me of how people were moving the goalposts on Purdy, on your boy, Rich, a little bit.
Yeah.
Judge has had 17 postseason home runs. You would not think that the way you tuned into sports talk.
You know what?
I
You would
was
have
this
thought
morning.
he was batting over 400. His postseason stats are better than Shohei Ohtani's. And Shohei's a hero, but Aaron Judge is a nobody. So
Zero.
He's a zero. So if the biggest
I
criticism...
wouldn't say that, Covino. I just think people make it seem like he has not hit many home runs at all in the playoffs.
All right, I'm saying don't fall for this trap. If his only criticism was he didn't have a big moment yet, and then he did, what, now he has to have another one
I
that
know
makes
he's
you
saying
happy?
he can't do
Get
everything.
out of my face.
He can't do everything, and he's not tragically bad in the playoffs. Like, remember when
Another one.
A-Rod at one point clearly was just not the same guy in the postseason, and I always thought it was interesting. Like, what was that? Remember when Kirk Cousins just couldn't win a primetime game? And he got that reputation. Aaron Judge isn't some guy that goes 0 for 4 in every postseason game. It's just the Yankees, with Judge as their team leader, haven't really gone that far in the playoffs, and maybe the moment just wasn't there for him, but last night was the first big one. I think it's a step in the right direction. I don't think it's like, wow, Aaron Judge can't be called,
Well, yeah, he still has to win a World Series, and I get all that too. But, Rich, put yourself in a little kid's shoes right now. The ones that light up and they're real excited about it.
sometimes little wheels on the bottom.
Yeah. Put yourself in some little kid's shoes. How cool is it to see all these heroes stepping up, all these big names? We haven't seen names like this in the postseason since we were kids, man. And that's why it brings out so much fun here on the show and in all of us. So many young superstars stepping up, so many big names in the playoffs, so many great teams. And if you're a little kid, how could you not be swept into this?
By the way, speaking of
I
those,
love it.
speaking of those alternate jerseys,
Yeah.
Dan Byer, your Brewers, who got a runner on second, are rocking the old school helmets and their alternate navy and I guess you would say yellow gold trim.
Yeah, this says I don't mind this look. This is a little bit more
It's cool.
natural.
Yeah, I
I thought
agree.
the Blue Jays hats last night looked out of place.
Agreed.
They had the white because the white ones. I've more took that for their home games when they would wear their all-white uniforms.
Now, speaking of all the smack talk and the back and forth talk and the moving of the goalposts and whatever spin you want to put on these things, how do you feel, Rich? I have a question for you and the Fox Sports Radio Nation. How do you feel about the razzers? Is that what you would call it? People that love to razz
really,
you
really
about
good
stuff.
website.
No, not that. Not that.
No,
No,
sorry.
that's
Razzers.
that's-
Sorry. My bad. Sorry.
You're thinking,
I got you.
okay.
Razz.
Yeah,
I said razzers.
R, not B.
Yeah.
Raz.
What do you think about people? Let's say I have Blue Jays friends, Blue Jays friends,
All your floppy-headed
And they're-
poutine-eating Canadians.
and they're hitting you up in your DMs or sending you a text message with the nanny poof poofs and like, yeah, your Yankees suck.
you
They're
go
going
with
down tonight.
You still go poof poof, huh?
Nanny poo poo. What do you feel about razzing? Is it fun, camaraderie? Is it what friends do? Is it just sports talk? Is it just how we behave as guys? Because I tune out. I say no. I'm allergic to it. I don't like it. I don't play those baby games.
No razzle dazzle. No
I wish your
razzing?
team good. I wish your team. Danny, have I ever razzed you about your Dodgers? Never.
No, and vice versa.
Right. Like, I think that's the weakest BS. Or is it
I
like
think
good fun and I take it too personal?
I think Rich would agree with this. If a friend does it like good-natured and is still supportive of you and your fandom of your team, but is just letting you have it and you can give it back a little bit, that's okay. But when people are just sitting there waiting to press enter on a mean message they want to send you, just because.
Danny, I always
to engage with razzing is my
yeah.
Most people walk among us.
I
Danny.
ignore it, guys. I'm too big for it. I'm like, get out of here. I wish your team well, but get out of my face with your little nanny poof poofs.
I also not only do it's like I'm too big for this. I'm too mature for this. I always, at the end of the day, in my mind, I'm like, listen, I didn't play the game, so you can only razz me so much. Like I wasn't pitching for the Mets,
Exactly.
or I wasn't in the secondary for the 49ers. Right. I wasn't the guy that
you do look like a punter for the Niners.
I didn't blow that coverage in the third quarter or something.
I have so many people that try to razz me about my Stankies and how they're going down and they suck and Aaron Judge is overrated. I'm like, all right, dude. And
I'm not Aaron Judge.
And I want to get mean. Like, I got some mean stuff in my back pocket. I'm like, one more time, dude. I might say something about your mama. So relax on that.
You're a better man. You're a better man than most.
Yeah, right now I'm ignoring you because I don't play these baby games.
I think razzing is fun, and I'll give you. I have the one rule and caveat here.
I don't think it is.
One rule and caveat. Now, I think you'd be a hurtful jerk if, for no reason, let's just say, the Brewers, somehow the Cubbies come back, and in Game 5, the Brewers blow it. What are you going to do? Call Dan Byron and be like, hey, man, what's the Brewers score? I missed it.
But that's razzing.
But then you're an a-hole.
Yes, that's what I mean. So you come at me with this one too many times. I got some mean stuff in the holster for you. I don't know if you want to go there. So am I the sports baby, or are you the sports baby playing these weak-ass games?
Oh, don't poke the cove is what I'm getting here.
I don't like the sport of razzing.
Why do you keep pointing to me? I've never razzed you at all, except about forgetting my team completely.
Right.
Never.
Right.
Is that a form of razzing? Just ignoring them entirely?
I don't think any. We're all professionals. I
Never
don't
heard
think
of
any of
them.
us here have razzed each other.
I almost feel like Dan Byer and I are almost too mature about our Niners-Seahawks relationship.
Not about our teams, about each other. We razz each other personally.
I think as we get older, and not to sound like we're mature, but as we get older, sports are such a great escape, and sports are something that bring us joy. Like, I'll be honest, if my team's not in it, don't I want to see one of you guys happy? Like, I mean, I know that sounds like overly mature because
Yeah,
sports.
it's way too mature.
You're not supposed to have.
I don't want any of my friends happy. I'm not going to razz them. I just don't want them to have the success of their teams winning.
You just keep it inside.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, but dude, I
it's
even
a shame.
have some of Rich's high school friends who are Mets fans like him will razz me about the Yankees. I'm like, shut
I get
up.
I get tired of the tribalism and like just people being territorial and stuff. I just am more like, these are your teams and I support you. You're my friend.
Yeah, but I think we're weirdos for that, Sam. Honestly,
like if you were an Iowa State fan, I'd be like, go to hell. But then we'd hug it out, I guess.
Iowa Sam, I think we're too mature. I think this is, sometimes
most people are trolls.
But you know how sometimes when you and your friends have the same trait, you justify each other. Like in the 2000s, Covino and I are like, you cheat on your girlfriend, so do I. No, like when you have bad traits, but your friends have the same bad traits, you're almost like, what? Okay, he does it. I think we're a little too mature.
Be better than that.
We're a little too mature, Iowa Sam, because I think that we are irrational with sports. I heard our pal KFC on Barstool saying how that's sort of the problem with politics, where we now treat politics the way you treat sports. His analogy was, even when the Yankees were in the World Series, he's a Mets fan, so he's like, Yankees suck. He's like, I know Yankees don't suck, but like, you're irrational as a fan, and we've sadly become that way
Us versus
with,
them.
with politics, us versus them, and it's a great point.
Different teams.
But truthfully, Covino, if my team is playing yours, I think there's a little razzing allowed. But I have no stock in the Blue Jays, so why would I want the Blue Jays, who I don't care at all about, to make you unhappy?
Thank you, Rich. That's the mature approach here.
That's where you guys go above and beyond. And in not knowing you guys as long as you guys have known each other, that's what's always surprised me. I gave Covino the business for what he did to me 2 years ago when the Seahawks lost to the Rams. But Covino's opening, hope you have a Raiders, Mets, sort of is like a, hey, I hope you had a great weekend like my buddies did.
What do I say? I hope all your teams
Yeah.
won.
That was so foreign to me. It was not that I would root against the Raiders or root against your Yankees or Mets by any means. However, wanting your buddies to win, I may not rub it in their faces, but I don't know if I'm necessarily cheering for what, their success.
Well, if you're in Detroit, you're probably cheering because Javi Baez just went yard, 2-run, done.
Yeah, let me bring the razzle dazzle to my Mariners friends.
I will also say this because
Mariners
you probably don't have the Brewers game on since it doesn't matter to Covino in the studio. They're up 1-0 heading to the bottom.
Okay,
of the
Oh,
first.
wait, can we play today? I didn't know, Dan. Sorry.
Covino put on the Home Shopping Network.
Yeah, I said turn this off.
Actually, you got all your games today, and we'll break them down as the day goes on. So the question here, based on all the fun and the back and forth, Razzers, are they lame or not? Do you play that game? Is that just part of the fun? What are your thoughts on that? You can hit us up at Covino and Rich. And then every Wednesday, we do something called Midweek Major. So Spotty's on standby, waiting just to say hi, and he's going to give you all the biggest stories in the world of sports and pop culture, and we decide here on the show, are these stories mid-week or major? Are they buns or are they peak stories? Well, break it down.
Interestingly enough, I think when it's done in spite, again, Covino, there's a part of me that wants to get, mean.
There's some people that can get away with it, right? But some people, I'm like, I don't know you that well.
I have a story that I'll share real briefly, but I like for my Met fan friends today. You know what they said? I got a text like, today could be a great day. Yankees and Phillies could both be eliminated, and I'm like, yeah, our Mets lost. Like we what do we care? In my mind, I said, guys,
It's so immature, though. It's like, you suck, so you love to see other people fail to
but
bring
that's
you
sports.
joy.
Why are we pretending we don't know?
No, because that's also a sign of character and life. It's like, you stink, so you want to see other people
But
stink.
why do you think people get in fist fights at stadiums? Like, you think that's by accident? You ever
it's
see?
crabs in a bucket. If we're
Misery
down,
loves
we're going to
company.
pull
Yeah.
you. We're going to
Misery
pull
loves
you down.
company.
It's a
Exactly.
bigger mentality. It's a bigger picture. It's like,
So I said to the guys, I go, truthfully, guys, I mean, for the good of baseball, no, it'd probably be good. I don't know. Phillies and Yankees winning, just so that baseball has game 4s and 5s. Like, what do you want to see, sweeps? And they're like, what type of fan are you? I go, I'm sorry, I don't know what you want to tell you. But I remember when I was a kid, Dan Byer, this would have drive you insane. I'm surprised I've forgiven my mother and my brother for this.
oh boy.
I was with my high school girlfriend, and this is around the time when the Niners, their feud with the Cowboys had sort of a little bit in the rear view. It had been when Steve Young and Brett Favre were going at it. That's when the Packers had their couple-year run. They won a Super Bowl, then they lost to the Broncos. The Niners couldn't get past the Packers for a couple years. I remember watching at my girlfriend's house, miserable. She consoled me. Babe, my Niners lost. I drove my little my Plymouth Acclaim home, my first car. I went up to my childhood bedroom. My mother and brother had yellow and green balloons blown up for the Packers in my room. I think I like told them off, like disrespectful to my mom, probably like bad, like F you, F all you, and I like slammed my door and I'm like, I don't want to be in this family.
I don't love you.
I don't love you guys.
I wish I was adopted.
Can you imagine that?
That's sabotage, man.
Imagine you go back to Danny. Imagine like you went back to your house after the Raiders had a big loss to the Chiefs, and like a family member had put yellow and red balloons in your room.
By the way, you have a family full of clowns with balloons on standby.
My uncle's bozo. You know?
Helium tank.
No, seriously, like they had to have thought this out.
They
They had
went-
those
they-
green and
That's
yellow.
just extra cruel.
They
Seriously.
probably went out of their way to go to Party City or something.
Yeah, let's troll Rich, who's in our family. You should not be getting it at home like that. You
No,
know?
really, just to rub it in. I'm with you on that,
man.
Rich.
Oh.
So your thoughts on Razzers, midweek major, plus we have some other things to get to on the show, of course. Words of Wisdom, Mike's Wednesday Words of Wisdom prizes.
Oh, boy.
So take down the number now. Don't say we didn't warn you. 877-99 on Fox, and you can hit us up anytime at Covino and Rich. I think it's the debate that's sweeping the nation right now, and I just don't get it. Remember in the movie Big? I don't get it. I don't get it. I just don't get it.
What don't you get?
I don't understand how people's hate of the Yankees is really clouding their logic, their common
get it.
sense.
I
Aaron
get it.
Judge is your MVP. I don't care how many home runs Cal Raleigh hits. He's having a magical season. I think Cal Raleigh's great for Seattle. Congrats on their victory yesterday. Congrats on his 2 home runs. By the way, Judge also hit 2 home runs yesterday. Are you guys failing to realize that Judge leads the MLB in almost every other category? Guess how many categories Cal Raleigh leads the MLB in? 1 home runs. If that was the be-all, end-all, why didn't Judge win the MVP in 2017 when you gave it to Altuve? That turd. Get out of here.
You keep forgetting there's a whole other side of the game. I don't know,
Yeah.
defense, catcher.
Where Judge is also pretty
know.
stellar incubus style.
Hold on, I just saw a
He's
stat.
stellar in the outfield. You're acting
Hold
like
on.
this guy's some sort of schlub. He made
Hold
one
up.
error last year, and everyone keeps bringing that up. I got so many reasons as to why it's so clearly Judge. I need to understand why you think it's Cal Raleigh, because he hit 60 home runs.
Honestly, you defending Judge, it's like fighting with my wife about something where I know I'm not going to win.
It's not. It's ridiculous. It's the debate that's sort of dividing the country right now. And you know what? It's better than late night TV and politics or anything else. So we might as well lean into it.
I'll be honest, this is way more fun to
Right?
argue about. Judge has played 40% of his games this year at the DH position, which means he has done nothing.
Because he was hurt and he still
Nothing.
dominated. He
And-
still led the team.
And when he's in the field, not a Gold Glover. And Cal Raleigh, not only a Gold Glover last year, he was a Platinum Glover, which means the best overall defender. So,
Wait, but did you hear what I said before about Judge leading the major leagues in everything? Major leagues.
Oh, major league,
Cal
okay.
Raleigh leads the AL in RBI, not the major leagues. He leads the major leagues in home runs, and that's it. And you know what? And people kissing his dumper. People kissing his ass.
Well, that's a pretty
'Cause
sweet
people
dumper.
hate the Yankees so much. You're letting it get in the way of the actual truth, which is Aaron Judge is so exceptional and so great. You should be embracing his greatness, not trying to tear him down just to lift up Cal Raleigh. It's the conversation that just keeps going on and on and on. And again, people just want to ignore the stats and hate on the Yankees. That's really it. And, of course, judge fatigue, which we pointed out throughout the week. What are your thoughts,
Your
man?
thoughts, Mr.
Because I do value your thoughts tremendously.
Yeah, it's not that deep. And I'll just say this. I will tend to go to the guy that I don't think will win it again. So if it's close, I'm going with Cal Raleigh. I think Judge has won it. He'll always be in the conversation. Cal Raleigh may, but we don't know. I always side with that. Honestly, guys, I do it with the NBA MVP, which I think that's how they vote, and that may make people frustrated or mad.
But it's not a charity vote. I don't get that.
You know what it's like? I'll give you an analogy. You know when you watch a fight, UFC or boxing, you have to judge round by round, and you can't go back and change your round because it's like, oh, well, that's a closer fight than I thought. Maybe I'll go back and give Canelo round 2. That's not how it works. You judge a round and you move on. Because I'll back Covino up on one and only point because I think it's Cal Raleigh that should win. But we can't not give it to Judge because we're tired of him. Like the Joker in the NBA, you can't be like, "Oh, he's already won a bunch.
No,
Let's
but
not give it to him."
They arguably did that to Lamar Jackson last year when they gave it to Josh Allen. Not that Josh Allen didn't deserve it, just like Cal Raleigh doesn't deserve it. But you could say that maybe, Lamar Jackson won it already, so we'll give it to him. Dude, Judge deserves this. I think that is pretty clear when you see that he leads in almost everything.
But the previous years weren't a bar on what was and what wasn't an MVP caliber season. And I say that because Lamar's season last year, passer-wise, I believe is 4th best in NFL history as a passer. That was last season. So I believe there are only 3 other seasons that were better, a couple by Aaron Rodgers. So it's tough to argue against that if you're for Lamar, but the bar that Josh Allen passed when Lamar won it 2 years ago, that tells me that his campaign was worthy enough at that point to be a most valuable player. And if you see where these teams are, specifically with the Mariners now winning the division, I think that also lends to Raleigh and what he's done. So that's where I go with it. I disagree with Rich. Like, Rich doesn't agree with my thinking, but I do tend to go that way with this award.
Can't take that away from Cal Raleigh, but you can't take that away from Judge either. The Yankees would be doo-doo pie without his leadership, without him putting up the numbers when he was hurt, those 8-10 games, whatever. They were terrible. So he is that difference maker for the Yankees as well. And what do they always say about Cal Raleigh? For a catcher.
Oh, great ass.
Blah, 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 for a catcher. Great ass for a Yo, it's Covino and Rich, live from the Fox Sports Radio studio. And the reminder is, don't be an Escobar. What's an Escobar? The guy talking smack about me, razzing me about my Yankees on our YouTube live chat.
See, I think you're being sensitive now because I'm looking at the chat. All Escobar said was, I love how Covino's peacocking now that Aaron Judge has finally done something.
Peacocking?
You came in here like,
hold on. You can't criticize the MVP of the league by saying, oh, he only does it when it doesn't matter. He needs a big moment. Then he gets a huge moment, and now all of a sudden it doesn't matter until he does it again. That's called moving the goalpost. Then you know what you should have said, Blabbermouth, from the start? He needs to do it in the World Series, or he needs to do it in the ALCS. You can't just change it every time he shuts you up.
I'm well aware of changing the goalpost and moving it because, as Danny G pointed out, that was Brock Purdy for like 2 years.
Judge needs a big moment. He gets a huge moment. It's not big enough. Shut your pie hole.
And then he said, anyway. And then Escobar said, P.S. Cal Raleigh for MVP. And then Wes in Idaho hit us up. Our buddy Wes said, well, now live streaming at you guys because the Mariners decided to suck. By the way, that game got out of control. It was 3-3, then it was 4-3. 8-3 now in the bottom of the 7th. Detroit unloading. Your old Yankee hit a bomb.
Labor of love, and it's fun to see. Like I said, all these moments are huge regardless of the team. We're watching great baseball, and we got to kick it to Dan Byer because there's some big news.
Yeah, let's get an update. What's up, DB?
Yeah, you guys hit the baseball. Tigers up 8-3. Michael Busch led off the Cubs-Brewers game in the bottom of the first inning with a solo home run to pull the Cubs even. Cubs have runners at the corners right now with 1 out in that game 3. Milwaukee leads it 2-0, but tied up at 1 apiece, still playing in the bottom of the first inning at Wrigley. No practice today for Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson. Cardinals quarterback Kyler Murray missed practice with a foot injury. He's considered day-to-day. And Niners quarterback Brock Purdy didn't practice today. Neither did teammates wide receivers Juwan Jennings and Ricky Pearsall. Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski wouldn't name the backup quarterback for their Week 6 matchup against the Steelers, only to say that he'll have a decision later on this week if it's either Shedeur Sanders or Bailey Zappi.
I always have to be mindful of our players and our players' development, and I want to make sure that I'm always doing what's best for our players and of course our team. But with young players, I'm always thinking about last week making the change to Dylan. You have to think long and hard about that because these are young players that you're so invested in their development.
No, this decision came about because they traded Joe Flacco yesterday to the Bengals. Decision's been made in Cincinnati. Joe Flacco is going to start in Week 6. Zach Taylor made the announcement today saying he's already faced the Packers this season, so Flacco will get the start for the Bengals. And then there's this story from The Guardian. Ollie Connolly, who covers college and NFL action, reports that Bill Belichick has discussed buyout options with North Carolina. He's apparently had a willingness to trigger his own $1 million buyout if he can find somewhere else to go, maybe another TV network, maybe another team. The report goes on to say that members of Belichick's staff have already reached out to other schools that could be in the college football playoff to look for work to assist those schools during the playoffs in December and January. There are also reports of serious recruiting violations that remain under investigation by the school. Some of those have already been proven. Yes, so Bill Belichick.
Wow.
Yes.
That says a lot, man.
That could be grand opening, grand
Yeah,
closing, huh?
and then there's this part. This was according to Ollie Connolly. Belichick's communication with his staff in the past 2 weeks has been described as weird and distant by multiple members of the staff. Multiple coaches were unable to get a hold of him during North Carolina's bye week.
Well, there's a lot of speculation on a lack of chemistry with his other coaches amongst the team because of all these different players. And to me, the willingness to even be open to that shows me that his heart's not in it to begin with. And that was questionable from the start. It's like, is this what you really want to do? Do you even have the energy to be recruiting young players and meeting with the parents and being that college rah-rah sort of dude at this stage of your life? I don't know. And if he's so willing to take the buyout, I'm saying no. He probably was never really that into it to begin with.
We talk about the bad years in New England of maybe hurting his legacy. This is atrocious. I mean, to what they've done. There a lot of turnover on the roster. The kids there, I'm sure, are wondering, this is what I signed up for?
Right.
The kids that aren't there anymore.
Dude, imagine.
Maybe it was their blessing in disguise.
DB, that's such a great point. I think about that, too. Think about this, Rich. The kids that thought this was going to be a great opportunity, right? I get to play for basically a pro football level college football team.
But play for the greatest professional coach of all time,
and then to be let down like that.
You're sort of let down. And the analogies you could do a million, but it would really be like if like a Hall of Famer at the end of their career said, I'm going to play on like some USFL or XFL team for a year and
they
suck.
Had to
and
think that this was like the 33rd NFL team, and now like the coach is ready to leave.
They have like wins over an FCS team in Charlotte. Like they're really bad. They've been blown out 3 times.
Guys, and then the other layer of this, DB, what about Bill's son?
I think he's a member of those people who are looking for different jobs at this point because I don't think there's any connection.
Send him to expresspros.com.
What about Bill's girlfriend? What's her role in all of this? I hate to speculate.
Pretty big one, I think.
But I think that's the salacious part of it. But I just think there's just a lack of like, I don't know. You know how like you try to convince young kids that I don't know something used to be cool, and they're like, yeah, I don't know about that 6'7", or they'll say some dumb crap. I just don't know if there's like if Bill Belichick matters.
Is buns.
I don't know if Bill Belichick matters to an 18-year-old.
Maybe
not. I mean, it sounds ridiculous, but I mean.
I don't even think that's relevant because I think the kids that signed up, he did matter to them.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to get to the National Football League, what better way than this guy who was considered the greatest coach that by some that we've ever seen in the NFL?
That's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
Major letdown.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, again, I don't want to overdo the analogies, but like, think of someone at the top of their game who is the greatest. Let's say when Dan Patrick retires, he really doesn't, and he's like, I'm just going to do a local radio show, and he just picks the smallest city, and like no one cares. It's like, yeah, but you were like if Howard Stern says, "I'm Raw, but I'm done with satellite," and then all of a sudden Howard's on some random AM station with 2,000 listeners.
Danny's point about Steve Belichick taking over the reins, what a lot of people suspected,
right?
That this was just Belichick in a bit of a puppet regime to get his son the head coaching job. And now things have gone so bad.
You do anything for your kids,
well,
but
that's
maybe
the ultimate selfish move then.
Wasn't it predicated on them being successful and then handing it over to Steve, right?
Yes.
That's what we assumed.
But to think that you're not going to be successful and are pulling the plug on October 8th.
Yeah, your heart's just not in it.
I mean, the season started Labor Day weekend. And I know that there was a build-up to it, but we were even saying there in the spring of there was a buyout in his contract. Will he make it to June 1st or June 15th, whatever the date was? He was. Then you're like, okay, he's going to be coaching this year, but now you get 6 weeks into a season, and you're ready to call it quits?
I hate these kids.
How awful. Man.
Oh, yeah. It poses a bigger question. Let me ask you guys, not about sports, but have you ever started a job and quit very quickly? Did you ever have? It could be a part-time job.
Yes.
Like
I think I had a job one day at UPS, and I was like, this, no way, I'm not doing this.
It's too much walking,
I think I went
too much
out,
lifting.
I did some contracting stuff, like construction work with a neighbor one time. Like, yeah, right.
Dude,
I'm not showing up the next
similar
morning.
story. My mother's boyfriend, her longtime boyfriend at the time, was a contractor.
Yeah, it was just too tough
It was
for
like
me.
the summer of my freshman year of college, and he's like, "Yeah, come with me. I'll give you $100 or whatever a day." I'm like, "Oh, cool." He was having me rip out insulation, and bugs were crawling everywhere, and I was dirty and dusty. And I remember going home and being like, "Yeah, that's my one day. I'm done." Said, no
I'm
thanks.
retiring.
No thanks. But we think we've all had jobs where you take the job and you're like, "Oh." I mean, Bill's done it before with the Jets, right?
Yeah. I quit a job at a metals factory after the second smoke break, and I didn't even smoke. Like you get your morning 15-minute, then lunch, then you get your afternoon 15-minute, and I was done. I was gone.
It's the feeling of this is not for me, but maybe it'll get better. And then you realize real quick, maybe it won't.
We've done this. We've done this long enough together. Don't let our boyish looks deceive you. Covino and I have been working together since we're in our early 20s, so we've been almost 20 years together. We've seen interns just never show up for their second day.
Yeah.
And, just sort of like, yeah, I guess this isn't for me.
You're like, damn, something rubbed them the wrong way.
All right, well,
so, yeah, let's hear your stories. And that seems to be what's going on here. If he's willing to be bought out this soon. Like, what a letdown.
like, man, that just regrettable decision. So we'll talk a little Belichick and all your thoughts on everything we're getting to. And are you going to razz Dan Byer because the Cubs went up?
Yeah. Nanny, poof, poof. Yeah. I think you have to know someone. You know what? We got some phone calls about razzing in sports, and we'll get to that next. Again, we're Covino and Rich, live from the Fox Sports Radio studio. Rich and I proving without even trying how different we are. The guy was born with no chill, so he loves a nail biter. If your team's in a nail biter, it's almost hard to say you enjoyed the game because the Yankees won yesterday. But afterward, I'm thinking to myself, did I really enjoy that? I felt relief afterward, but I'm like, I don't even know if that was fun. That was so stressful.
You're right, though. We are cut from a different cloth because
mine's leather. Yours is like, I don't know what yours is.
Burlap.
Yeah, burlap or something. Some sort of burlap sack.
I don't care what mine is, but yours is definitely leather because you think you're like the Mexican Fonz. Hey.
Where's leather, chaps?
It is interesting, though, because in all aspects of life, I do like that thrill of
panic?
Of panic and uncertainty.
That's
and
terrible.
I feel like it's...
For example, the Tigers are up 6-1, right? Rich says, you see this game right here? Tigers, Cleveland? I'm bored by it already because it's 6-1. I'm like, I get it because you don't care about either team. But Detroit Tigers fans feel great about that. That's my point.
But who would give them more a rush? They would have more of a rush if it was 2-1 still.
That's not joy. That's panic. And I think you have like a misunderstanding of what joyous feels like.
I'm a roller coaster guy. You're a teacup guy, I guess.
Maybe.
Wow.
Maybe I'm a Peter Pan's flight kind of guy.
What?
Have you ever...
You never went on Peter Pan's flight?
Have you ever had a...
No.
How do I say this politely on Fox Sports? Have you ever made love in a place where you could get caught? Where you're like, no way!
Risk adrenaline rush?
I must love that. And then you would think I'm a skydiver or something. I'm not. I just feel like you like very little risk and you like very little excitement. Like you seem like sort of a dud of a guy to me.
Jeez.
Sadie seems like a dud.
You like to be titillated, Rich? That's what you like?
Yeah. He likes a nail biter.
He likes titillation.
He thinks that's fun.
Yeah.
You realize that it's called a nail biter because you're nervous and you're panicky the whole time. Biting your nails doesn't equal fun. I think you were dropped on your head or something. You're misunderstanding. Put that helmet on, that Strauss helmet, because that's not fun until it's over and they won.
I think you remember it fondly because of how stressful it was. Like
Of
I think of certain football wins for Iowa where they escaped, and you're like, that was amazing,
All
but
right,
only
well,
after the fact.
Here's the deciding factor. What do you guys think? Hit us up at Covino and Rich at Fox Sports Radio. We'll wrap it up with one more phone call.
All right.
We have James in Orlando. You're on the Covino and Rich Show.
Orlando! What'd you do to
877-99
your hair?
Fox. What's up, buddy?
What's up, gentlemen? Best show radio right here.
Thank you, man.
Talking to you guys. Yeah, first time in. I'm with Covino on this one. I'm a Miami Hurricane, and let me tell you something. All week I've been stressing about this game coming up on Saturday, and I am going to be wearing out the carpet if it's a close game.
No, for real.
I'm going to be pacing, and I want to blow out. I want to blow out so I can
relax.
watch them kick ass.
Yes. James, you know what? You said you wore out your carpet. I don't have carpets, but you know what I have now? I started off the night with a brand new pair of gold toe socks. They were mint. By the end of the night, they were screen door socks on the bottom. You know what I mean by
Mesh
screen door
door.
socks?
Yeah.
I already wore through a brand new pair.
No, they're down to the fibers.
His socks look like the dirty screens in My Cousin Vinny that the old lady couldn't see through.
There you go.
And my girlfriend, I have a theory on this too, because girls don't burn through socks the way guys do. They don't.
We're usually heavier, too.
Look at your wife and girlfriend's socks. Both of them. If you have both, look at both of their socks. They don't have the screen doors.
If you have a gumad, look at hers, yeah.
They don't have the screen door troubles that we have, and my theory is this. They don't panic about sports the way we do, and they don't create as much friction as we do as big fat slobs. They don't have that weight friction pacing around watching a really tight fight or a tight game the way we do. Because my girlfriend hits me up. She's like, aren't you embarrassed wearing those things? I'm like, these are game day socks. What do you want from me?
Have you ever watched a fight with Covino? He's shadowboxing
Yeah.
like he's Tank Davis or something.
It's a nerve wreck. For real. You know what? I just had an epiphany. I always have my great thoughts in the bathroom, Rich.
An epiphany. Yeah,
I had an epiphany.
Let's hear this, genius Lenny Poffo.
I think it's as simple as not necessarily taking the money and run, Iowa Sam, even though that's great speculation. Iowa Sam on the ones and twos, Danny G super producing.
Oh, buyout, though.
Yeah,
I'm not
buyout.
saying he's taking the money. I'm just making a joke with the song, but he's running away from a situation that, is not going well.
It goes with my epiphany. Bill Belichick, and we've all done this on some level of life, I think, thought because he has this reputation, he has this resume, he's done it in the NFL at a high level, this great defensive mind, I think he thought this was going to be way easier than it's turning out to be. And he's slowly realizing that none of these coaches get along. These kids, all these kids who don't know each other, have no chemistry, all these new kids from the transfer portal, it's a lot to handle. And if you're not a young dude committed to the college way in a college program, you're just wasting everybody's time. And it turns out to be a harder job than he thought, and he bit off more than he could chew. So, yeah, he's willing to take that money. I think he thought it was going to be a lot easier than it is, and instead he's getting embarrassed.
I'm certainly not saying Bill Belichick and his, 6 New England Super Bowls and coaching with the Giants, winning a couple others as an assistant.
You don't think there's a part of him who's like, yeah, I did it in the NFL.
But I'm not saying that. By no means am I saying that was, quote, lightning in a bottle. It was a career of winning and brilliance. But what I'm saying is, we've seen it with other coaches. I remember after Joe Torre seemed unbeatable as a Yankees coach, manager, everywhere else Joe Torre went didn't seem to work out. And you've seen it in the NBA where, a legend goes somewhere and it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work somewhere else.
If you just joined us, Dan Byer announced that Bill Belichick is open to some sort of buyout if he has another coaching gig or a TV opportunity or something like that.
I have
He's
a question.
totally open to it.
Is it so short-lived in North Carolina that if it does end now, we won't even think about it with his legacy? Like the legacy's like, no, Patriots and this. Like,
I think he affected a lot of kids that had high hopes.
No, but I'm saying when his story's told later, like, oh, Bill Belichick won't be told, like, and then he had this stinker of a year. Like,
we could separate it.
I
yeah,
think
we could separate it.
Yeah.
But it's time for our Tire Rack play of the day. Again, Covino and Rich live from the Fox Sports Radio studio. Oh, it's no question.
Oh, jeez.
All rise for a mammoth blast.
2-strike pitch. Hits a drive down the line. If it's Ferenz's moment, it is! It's tied! George has arrived!
Man, you knew it was coming.
Joe Davis, what a call on FS1, huh?
For real, like I said, it was just a great baseball moment all around. Great coverage, great call, props
Did you
to
hear that call?
FS1.
He made a great call, and then he let it breathe perfectly.
Oh, that's awesome.
He did.
That's courtesy of FS1, our Tire Rack play of the day. For over 40 years, Tire Rack has been helping customers find the right tires for how, what, and where they drive. Shipped fast and free, backed by free road hazard protection with convenient installation options like mobile tire installation. Tire Rack, TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be. So, grand openings, grand closings, we've all experienced them. And let me say this, too. I said, I had a day at UPS. That's not to knock anyone's job. I'm saying that was hard. I spent one day loading and unloading trucks.
Not for me.
And I was like, yeah, right. I'm not wearing these belts. My back was killing me. I'm like, I'm too weak for this. No, I'm not cut out for this.
I'm too weak.
This is not for the weak-hearted. So sometimes you realize, like, yeah.
I remember when my wife
not
and
for me, and maybe that's what Bill Belichick's going through.
When my wife and I first started dating, she was in her early 20s. And I remember she got a job as, like, a bottle service girl to make a little extra money. And, like, one day she's like, guys are creeps and weirdos. I'm done. Like, one day. Like, no, one day. So we've all we've all had jobs for, like, a day. Let's say hi to JP in Paradise, who wanted to just talk about Belichick real quick. And then we have calls on razzing. What's up, JP?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? So I just want to talk about the fact that we always say that, Russell Wilson, he's playing his way. He might be playing his way out of the Hall of Fame. And, I look now and I think, is Bill Belichick coaching his way out of the Hall of Fame?
Well, not coaching his way out of the Hall of Fame, but coaching his way out of that number one spot of, like, untouchable. Belichick's the best coach of all time. Like,
yeah, man, I don't think the college, just like the postseason has nothing to do with the regular season when it comes to MVP voting or anything else. I don't think college coaching has anything to do with NFL coaching.
He's creating footnotes that you'll have to be like, oh, look at how it ended.
It's part of the story, but it won't affect him.
And you're comparing 6 rings to 1 ring with Russell Wilson.
Yeah, that's true.
8 rings.
But it doesn't help his reputation. But
well, 6 on his own.
I agree with you on that.
All right, Zach in Idaho. Back to the OG topic of the day, which was Covino has a problem with people razzing other sports fans.
Like, I tell you, my girlfriend's dad, Len, who listens on 99.9 in Idaho.
Yeah.
He hit me up and said, I didn't know you're so sensitive. Sorry for razzing you about your Yankees.
Your father-in-law now making fun of you.
He's a Dodgers guy. when you know somebody on a certain level and it's someone like that, it's all in good fun. If I don't know you really that well, that's when I'm like, I'm ignoring you.
Well, Rich knew his family, and they still left those balloons.
Yeah, and that's
funny.
that's
That was
why
mean.
I don't get them Christmas presents
The grudge.
All right, listen, we're going to get all your feedback. We'll take your feedback next. Everyone, Zach,
Yeah,
Dave,
hang tight.
Everyone hang tight. We're going to take all your feedback, phone calls, social media. I'll go check our Twitter and Instagram. More Covino and Rich. Plus, we got Words of Wisdom, and Spot's got Midweek Major. Always fun on a Wednesday here at Fox Sports Radio. Hang tight, everybody. More CNR next. Yeah! Woo!
All right, so the Ravens, they're not quite there yet. But you know who might be ass? Rob Lowe. Now, I got to say, I've loved Rob Lowe for a long time, since the Outsider days.
I still love Rob Lowe.
But he's getting a lot of heat this week. Remember his NFL picture where he's wearing that NFL hat?
And everyone's like, where's the alliance? You have a fan of Roger Goodell? He had the NFL hat, and people gave him so much shit for that.
I feel like he has a problem with alliance. I really do. I feel like he's a torn guy. And he's like, I don't know who I should represent. So I guess I'll just represent the NFL. Well, I guess he should also just represent the MLB. Because he's an Ohio kid, and people are giving him a lot of heat for not representing because he was wearing Dodgers gear. But then again...
By the way, who'd they focus on more this series so far? Him or Jason Bateman?
Oh, I know, right?
It's like, geez, we get it. Jason Bateman's there and Rob Lowe's there. Any other handsome middle-aged guys?
But to be fair, is there anyone more LA and Hollywood than Rob Lowe?
You mean Dodger fan Rob Lowe?
Yeah, but it's been known that he's a Cincinnati Red sort of guy.
But you live in a city long enough, I wonder if there is a time where it's like, I'm not saying change your alliance, but I'm coming to grips with the fact that my kids might like the Dodgers. I'm a big Mets fan, as you know, but my kids are like, Dad, Mookie and Freddie and Ohtani. I'm like, they go to school in L.A. All their friends are Dodgers fans. So, I don't know, maybe Rob Lowe, he's out here long enough. His kids.
But here's the thing. Don't be wishy-washy. Make a choice. Are you an Ohio kid who likes the Reds, grow up with the Reds, or are you a Dodgers guy? Right? Because otherwise, you just might be ass, because he's getting a lot of criticism. And it hurts my heart as a Rob Lowe fan.
I love Rob Lowe, but guess what?
He's a treasure.
Might be ass.
Might be ass.
Sorry,
are you a Reds fan or a Dodgers fan? Because the world's confused. Maybe you're just a baseball fan.
Sorry, Rob Lowe.
You might be ass this week.
You might be asked this week. It's a huge honor.
Every week someone has this honor. Rob Lowe, congrats.
Congratulations.
The Tigers have scored 9 unanswered runs, and they lead the Mariners in the 9th inning, 9-3 at Game 4 of their American League Divisional Series. With a Tigers win, it would force a Game 5 back in Seattle. The Cubs are on top of the Brewers 4-1 right now in the bottom of the second at Wrigley. That's a Game 3 of the National League Divisional Series. Later on tonight, Jays and Yankees 7 Eastern, Phillies and Dodgers 9 o'clock Eastern time. A report from The Guardian says North Carolina head football coach Bill Belichick has been in talks with the school about his buyout options. The report says assistant coaches have already reached out to other schools, with Belichick looking for another landing spot either in media or on another team. One source was quoted as saying some assistants couldn't reach Belichick during the team's bye this week. Bengals are turning to Joe Flacco as their starting quarterback in Week 6 against the Packers. No practice today for Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson, Cardinals quarterback Kyler Murray, or Niners QB Brock Purdy.
Oh, yeah. Hey, let me ask you, Covino.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Wood?
The Kelsey song or the model on the side of his bed?
Oh, no, not the big black dude, the song. Because they asked Travis that on his podcast.
Travis said any reference to him is an honor, and Jason really leaned into it. He's like, no. The song about your junk. How do you feel about it? It was a great song. They both agreed it was a great song. I'll tell you this, and I say this respectfully. I don't give a diddly squat about Taylor Swift music, so that's my take on it.
Well,
Covino and Rich, we be rocking out. Let's go.
You'd give a diddly squat if someone wrote a song about your junk.
Kelsey said
How do you know they haven't?
Kelsey said he thinks he's more like a Japanese maple. Sometimes you can see.
So funny because she makes redwood references in the new song Wood about Travis. To be honest, Rich, I just think I rock too hard for Taylor Swift music. I don't know, man. I'm not into it. I don't hate on it. Not hating, just stating. It's just not for me. You can't expect me to care about music that my daughter listens to. It's as simple as that. I like it because she likes it, but I'll never like it for me.
I mean, I think this in particular because there's so much crossover with the biggest artist in the world right now and the NFL, which is the biggest sports brand in the world. It's more of a pop culture thing than I care about Taylor Swift's music. She
I
has a
liked
new
her
album.
song when Luis Miguel sang it.
I don't know what that
Very
means.
similar. Very, because some of her songs are very similar to other songs. And I'm just teasing now. I'm just kidding. But I did listen out of curiosity. That's fair.
That's
the
the
same
point.
way I want to see K-pop Demon Hunters because everybody's talking about it.
Oh, you mean my daughter's Halloween costume already?
Exactly. So we're Covino and Rich broadcasting live from the Fox Sports Radio. And remember, with the iHeartRadio app, you can stream us whenever, wherever. Catch us on Fox Sports Radio 24/7 with the new and improved iHeartRadio app. Search Fox Sports Radio in the app to stream us live all day. And look for Covino and Rich. And we are streaming live on YouTube as we speak.
Hey.
Covino and Rich FSR. Please subscribe for free. Send it to a friend. If you subscribed already, please send it to somebody and tell them to do the same. That's all we want. That's all we ask. Covino and Rich FSR cost you nothing.
All right, well, with that said, a couple quick phone calls about razzing. Covino has this theory that, when his Yankees are losing.
Well, I live by something called do unto others, right?
Yeah.
And
you made that up?
I did. You like that?
Hold on, wait. You made this up? All right, what is it?
Well, actually, I assessed a lot of things. Like, would I do that? And if I wouldn't, then I'm like, I think you stink.
I used to wear a bracelet, by the way. It'd say what it would. It was WWCD. What would Covino do?
But I'm not like the razzing type. Not with sports teams. Not especially if I don't know you that well. Or maybe that's your way of trying to get to know someone better, right? You're just trying to tease them, neg them, get under their skin. It's like a flirting of sorts. I don't know. I don't vibe with it because I don't do it.
Well, you and I have talked about how when you assess your buddies, your coworkers, guys at the barbershop, your college pals from when you were younger, some people know how to bust balls and some people don't. Like some people, they're like, no, you're just being rude, and other people are good at it. And I think some people maybe just don't know if they're good at it or not.
Yeah, I'm not saying I get mad and I pull my hair out and I'm like, oh, you son of a. I just choose to ignore it. I'm like, I'm not taking the bait. That's really it. I'm not taking the bait on this. I'm not going to like hit you back with something mean about your team.
You know who on our network loves to give people the business about their teams?
Your boy Ben Maller.
Oh, yeah. He calls it schadenfreude, and it is to the 100th degree with that guy. Like, if you come in and your team just lost, your head is down because you're like, and I got to listen to this guy. And he starts his monologue with an evil laugh and looks right at you and points at you.
Can I tell you something? It's like Stephen A. laughing at the Cowboys fans.
Yeah, but Stephen A. is good at that.
He's good at it.
And I'm not saying Ben Maller's not, but for instance, if Ben Maller laughed at the joy of my Niners losing a big game, I would not be friends with Ben Maller.
He's that type of guy for
I'd be like,
sure.
yeah, no, I don't need a guy like you in my life. Beat it, Maller. You big oaf.
He's another guy that's really great at it. Like, he's that typical loudmouth late night sports guy that just wants to rub it in and razz you.
Yeah, and then if you try to ask him about his team, he deflects. And he's like, no, I'm their biggest critic. I told you about this about my team.
The Clippers, you think I'm easy on them?
God bless you, Danny G, for being able to put up with that.
Well, I've been able to push back on that guy and argue with him to where I unravel what he's trying to say.
But then you're taking the bait because now you're arguing with the guy, right? So your thoughts on razzing.
Zach in
We'll wrap
Idaho.
it up with the phone calls. Hey, Zach.
What's up, hooligans? You guys finally let me talk.
Yeah, what's up, buddy? You're on.
So a couple things. Raiders, I mean, my dad will just get up and leave in the middle of a game. He doesn't want to hear it from anybody. He turns off his phone. He's done. But so I grew up a Raiders fan, and I got my buddy who's in Michigan. He's a huge Detroit fan. We pump each other up when it comes to our teams because we've both been in the dumps for so long. But I'm also a Seattle Mariners fan because I spent some time in the Northwest, and I actually ignored his phone call a couple times already. He's been trying to call me and give me a hard time since I've been on the phone.
I'll be honest. I'm no joke. If my team loses, like when the Mets lost that final game of the season, when they could have made it in, I saw people that called me, and I'm like, if you think I'm answering that J.O.'s phone call, if you think I'm going to respond to, I'll see text messages like, oh, I know what this text is about. Yeah, no thanks.
So funny.
I don't play along.
Hey, Zach, thank you very much.
Appreciate you.
Shout out to Idaho. What up, Dave in Pennsylvania? What up, Dave? You're on
Dave.
the Covino and Rich Show.
Hey, guys. Just wanted to share, first off, that as you get older, you definitely mature. I'm not nearly how I used to be. However, being a lifelong Steelers fan, when I first started dating my wife more than 30 years ago, my wife's family was all Browns fans. So the Steelers were playing the Browns for the third time. It was in the playoffs that year. They had already beat them twice in the regular season. And, well, Steelers end up winning. So both my father-in-law and his sister worked in the same machine shop. So I ended up sending a funeral bouquet with a card that says, my condolences on your loss, and it was a black and gold arrangement. And they
Why don't you go hang out with my mom and brother?
Yeah, man, that sounds cool. Seriously.
Maniacs.
Sports baby games is what I call it. Now, speaking of the Browns, DB, you got something to say?
Yeah, I got something to say.
What up, buddy?
Yo, DB, you got something to say?
First of all, I've never cheered harder than against an ex-girlfriend's team. Okay, I don't know if you guys have ever been there. Like at that point, there's a girl maybe you dated.
Well, I secretly cheer against their new relationship. I don't know if that counts.
But like if I knew that they were a fan of a certain team, like I would just completely root against them. How do you guys feel though about analysis of your game going on. And I'll just use an example for Rich here. Let's just say it's a Mets game. And let's just say the bats aren't going. You're in a group chat. Somebody's like, man, Mets bat's pretty silent today. Like it's innocent.
Are they Mets fans saying that?
No, no, they're neutral.
All right, they're neutral. Yeah, I don't want to hear their commentary.
Agreed. 100%. Yes, I'm with you.
That's it. I mean, who asked you?
Correct. It's not even negative, but they're pointing out something that is obvious, that is a big thorn in your side at that point.
Funny. This is personal but funny. My brother just finalized. He went through a divorce. His ex's family, they're from the Maryland area, all big Ravens fans. My brother is relishing in how bad the Ravens are. Like every week, my brother's like, "No, the loss, bro. No, the loss." Like he is relishing in how they must be sad about the Ravens losing.
The fans are booing, and he's standing up and cheering.
And in his defense, you have a lot of petty feelings when you're going through a divorce or a breakup. So I totally get that, and that's what it is. Very petty.
Yeah, let me give you one more petty one, and then we'll move on. We'll do Mike's words of wisdom, give away some prizes. But I'm a big Niners fan. Postseason a couple years ago, you guys know I like to have people over to watch a little postseason football. I invited one of the moms and the kids from school over, one of my daughter's friends, and they have two little boys, and the mom came over. No horse in the race. She sort of thought it was like fun to root against my team.
Oh, that's so corny.
And I was trying not to be a child, Danny G, but I pulled my wife aside.
Get her out of here.
And I said, you got to talk to her.
Get a load of her.
And my wife's like, what do you mean? I go, I'm rooting on the 49ers, and I think they were playing the Cowboys. It was like a wild card, a divisional game, and I go, babe, for real though, you gotta pull her aside and say,
yeah.
I was almost
this is Rich's home court advantage right here.
I said I might have actually said the phrase, tell her to cool it, or she has to leave.
This is my Casa Dojo house.
You don't take it at home. This is your safe space.
Yeah, this is my home. Beat it.
Now, if Dan Byer came over and it was Seahawks-Niners, fair. He's a Seahawks fan. But if it was Niners-Bucks this week and someone just came over my house and just for the heck of it, like, yeah, let's go, Baker. Wait, what are you doing? You're at my home.
Also, there's one thing being obnoxious and rooting against like someone's team in their own home. And then like if you're just talking about a game and you're so insecure that you can't even admit that your team is sucking or like they have 20 yards rushing.
I admit
you
that.
have to be able to like look at your own team unbiased.
Yeah, of course.
And you have to be able to take it a little bit.
Not in your own Mojo Dojo concept.
Yeah, but you don't need somebody telling you that.
Yeah,
like I know that.
Like,
I
we
can
can all
see my
see
team
that.
can't move the football, or I can see my team is striking out left and right.
I had a football party that. Remember the game where the Niners got blown out by the Eagles because Brock Purdy got hurt? And they had remember by the end of it, they didn't even have a quarterback. They didn't even have the quarterback NFC Championship game that year. I remember having people over, and I'm like, yeah, I know what's going on. Like Dan said, you don't need to analyze this game in front of
you. You give them the cold stare, and you go, thanks, I got it. Appreciate it.
Got it.
Now, our boy Dave from Pennsylvania brought up the Browns. I have a question about Joey Flacco, okay? Joey Flacco, your new Bengal. And I'm going to pose that question right after Mike's Wednesday Words of Wisdom. The rules are simple. We try to spread the wisdom that we are so fortunate and lucky to get every day from Mike who runs this place. Yeah. We try to pass it down, pass it along to you guys. And if you could repeat it verbatim, it's simple. You win. You get a hold of one of our turbo balls. You get to grab onto one of those bad boys.
All right, well, let's take a listen. Mike's Words of Wisdom.
It's time for the guy that runs this place.
Just for clarification, guys, Big Mike does not run this place. He is not in charge of everything. He has no power over really anybody here. He does not run this place.
It's Big Mike's Words of Wisdom on a Wednesday.
Before you judge someone, walk a mile in their shoes. That way, when you do judge them, you're a mile away and you have their shoes.
That's so dumb, and I love it. And I love it, yes.
Should we do it one more time? Because it came in a little low there.
Yeah. It's a little wordy, too, yeah.
All right, here we go. I love that, though. Oh, here we go.
Before you judge someone, walk a mile in their shoes. That way, when you do judge them, you're a mile away and you have their shoes.
I hope
I feel like he had
they're
more to
Jordan
say.
5s.
I feel like he had more to say than he was like, nah, I'm good right there. That's it. Yeah, you know what? It was good right there. If you could repeat that verbatim, you win one of our new and improved turbo balls, our Nerf footballs.
Ooh.
And
An IOU, because
yeah,
they're
but
on
they're coming.
order.
They're coming.
They are.
877-99 on Fox. And if you won in the past, they're different. So be calling, be dialing 877-99 on Fox for your chance to win. And I have a question. Again, in a world where we don't know what to believe anymore, is Michael Jackson doing stand-up now? All this weird AI stuff that you see every day, I don't know what to believe.
What is it called? Sora?
Sora, yeah.
Spot made one earlier of Covino on the Yankees, and honestly, it was unbelievable.
So weird, I know. You know what? Let's post it at Covino and Rich. We'll post it at Covino and Rich on social media so you can take a look. And he did it in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it could be better than that.
It was way more majestic than Judge's home run.
I saw a photo, and I'm assuming it's real, of Joey Flacco flying economy.
Yeah. It says reports confirm that Flacco indeed flew commercial.
So he's flying economy for a big game, and then there's speculation that, well, this is the second time he's playing the Packers in 4 weeks. He already studied film, and he's prepared for them. Why does he need better accommodations? He already won. He's ready to go. Joey Flacco, your new quarterback, a veteran in the game, flies economy. I'm not saying he's too good. I don't think anyone's ever too good for economy. But you should never be complaining if this dude is flying economy with all the money he has. Are the Bengals that cheap?
I mean,
that's another thing.
I mean, if you want to remember, put on your thinking cap, remember it was weeks ago that Boomer Esiason, who does his radio show on WFAN in New York, he went on a rant with his co-host Gio. Remember they talked about how they wanted to honor Boomer as part of the Ring of Honor, and they were going to have some of the alumni come back, and they gave Boomer a Groupon discount code for the hotel. Like they didn't even put him up at the hotel.
Great call. I forgot about
team that doesn't even put up Boomer Esiason at a hotel.
But how could you feel excited about joining a new team?
Their
and
organization,
this is already how it's going?
You guys, their organization has had this reputation for years.
Yeah, that's Bush League. That's bunk. I don't know, man. He's a Super Bowl champion. I'm not saying he's above the law or above anybody, but to be sitting there waiting for the granny to get her luggage out of the overhead, that's not how he should be approaching this situation.
Now, a simple Twitter or Google search would show that this picture's like 2 years old.
We've been had. It's not even AI this time.
It's real. It's old.
It's not that he hasn't flown coach. It's just that he didn't do it from Cleveland to Cincinnati.
Why do people want to
within
deceive
the last
us?
24
Just good
hours?
old-fashioned stupidity. It's not AI.
You know what?
It's deception.
Oh, wait, so hold on.
Wait a second, though. So
me.
the AI overview right now is wrong then, because it says yes, the reports are right.
Hold on.
The picture's
AI
legit,
overview?
but it's two
For
years
the
old.
record, it was circulated amongst our group chat, and we spoke to Danny G about it before the show.
I wasn't in that group chat.
Either we all got, but we did do our due diligence. We thought it was real. And I'm like, are you sure it's not AI? You sure it's not fake? No,
It was
man,
real.
it's
It's
real.
just, it was 2 years old.
Your due diligence was, are you sure it's not fake? Like that was your due diligence?
I mean, because
It was
I'm thinking,
relying
No, you're
on
covered.
the AI overview. That
yeah, I'm
Google
like,
provides.
is it
That's
AI?
it. That's
So-
your
Kavita's
last line of defense.
due diligence. Danny, you sure?
It's real.
Diligence.
No, I was due
Well,
too because
in
I got another
Your
picture.
due diligence is
To-
worse.
I
to
got
Your
be
due diligence
fair-
is watching me.
To
ask
be
me.
fair, in our pre-show meeting, Covino said, I'm going to present it on the air as we don't know whether or not this is, done falsely.
Well, I'm not above this because I just got fooled. So you're telling me Icky Woods didn't pick him up from the airport in an Uber? No.
How are you supposed to know it's from last week or from 2 years
You know,
ago?
it kind of
You know?
goes with the conversation. How do you know what to believe anymore?
what got,
We do this all the time.
We talked about this just the other day.
This is the worst.
I
Isn't this what
love
got
your
Kimmel
guys'
kicked off the
innocence. What's that?
Isn't this what got Kimmel kicked off the air?
Yeah, right.
Misrepresentation
Oh,
of information.
thank goodness for Danny Byer for calling it
Someone
out.
apparently put it on a gift card like 2 years ago to a friend of Joe Flacco, and the overhead compartments all open
All
behind
right, well,
him.
let me try to save this and say, if you ever complain about your travel accommodations, just remember what Joe Flacco had to go through 2 years ago. He had a fly
When
economy.
he was with who?
Well, there was some complaining recently from some of the Steelers players that they didn't get to fly first class to Ireland. That is a true story.
Well,
Okay.
I did say to Danny earlier today, in the NFL, a billion-dollar organization, if there's not private planes for the teams and they are flying solo because of a trade, an acquisition, an injury, to not put these guys up first class is insane considering the money involved in these organizations. Plus, these guys are all 250, 300, 400-pound beasts that are all 6'5".
I have to squeeze into these seats, and I'm losing sleep trying to travel to places. I think they're a little of a higher investment.
Well, they're large men, too. Their knees won't even fit in there.
So, look, the conversation wasn't even about this to begin with. The conversation was, hey, there's this picture floating around of Flacco.
Is he wearing a Ravens jersey?
And the conversation
I think he was
is
with the
supposed
Browns,
to be
actually,
about
2 years
your
ago.
accommodation pet peeves, your travel pet peeves. Like, what are they? That
got
was
one.
really what we were getting
I
at.
got a travel pet peeve.
Let's hear it. 877-99 on Fox.
One of my travel pet peeves, because I'm not a cheap guy. I try to be generous and nice. One of my pet peeves is on that rare occasion you get to go away with the wifey.
Oh, boy.
You go to a resort. You check in. They give you the glass of champagne. Like, oh, welcome. You're in Aruba, the Bahamas, Mexico, somewhere. And they, like, insist on carrying your carry-on to your room. And you're like, no, I got it. And then you go to the room, and, like, literally it's down the hall. And then you got to give some guy like a 10 or a 20 because he carried your bag.
And he slaps his hand out there waiting for a tip. And that's when you give him a low five.
No,
Be
that's
like,
what you give
"Beat
him.
it."
That's what you like Kevin McAllister, and you give him your gum.
Give him gum, yeah.
You know what, Rich?
Rob
That's
Schneider rubbing his
such a
fingers
good one.
together.
That's such a great one. I mean, everybody hates that. So that's where we were going anyway. It wasn't about, now we're taking your phone calls on how cheap are the Bengals. It was, what are some of your travel pet peeves? If this dude's traveling economy, what are some of the things that grind your goat when it comes to travel and accommodations?
I was just going to say, Rich, because of that reputation the Bengals have, whoever put this out there all day
made sense. Yeah.
knew that we'd fall for it.
You know what? I know it's my own fault because you could pay to go to a Zone 1, Zone 2, Group 2, 3, 4. I know you can pay your way up the list, but my biggest pet peeve is when I try to be cheap and I'm doing a quick little flight or something, and I'm in one of the later zones, and they make you check your carry-on, and the whole reason you took a carry-on was to avoid baggage claim. That is a travel pet peeve.
You know what
and
really
I get it,
bothers
but
me? No, it grinds my goat. And I know it grinds your gears, gets your goat. Get out of my face. I get it.
Don't
But
razz me. Don't razz me.
Don't razz me. Whatever, you know what squeezes my shoes? When you're sitting there like waiting for the flight to take off and you start watching a game or you just put the movie on, and then they keep interrupting you with the stupid flight announcements.
The intercom is so loud.
But then, no, sometimes you can't even hear it. It's like, what's the point of your little spiel? Your little captain spiel, if I can't even hear you, and that really does bother me. I'm not gonna lie. And if you travel a lot, you know what I'm talking about.
You're interested in this credit card? No, I'm not. Get away from me.
So that's where we were going. Either way, it's a great jump off.
I was on the studio lines. Did you guys mention the turbulence announcements?
Oh, I don't want to hear about that.
Okay, listen, we've had this happen on some of our work trips where we're all sitting there and they get on their intercom and they say, There may be some turbulence, so we're not going to have drink service. And there's absolutely no turbulence, and we don't get a drink.
Covino grabs my thigh the whole time.
I'm like, they're
Waiting for
scamming me out of my ginger ale and cranberry. My cranapple.
All right, well,
and your waffle cookie.
Yeah, where's my waffle cookie?
How about we do this? Do you want a break? We'll come back. We'll get a winner for Mike's Words of Wisdom.
That's perfect.
And then we'll go to Spot's midweek major. So a lot of fun coming up.
I'll get 5 minutes today. How about
Perfect. Can't wait. More Covino and Rich next right here on Fox Sports Radio.
Can't wait.
But I'm going to give you my top 5 all-time, like, that we grew up with as we throw it back and reminisce on Overpromise, okay? I'm not talking Dad's Old Spice. I'm not talking Dad's Brute and Grandpa's Aqua Velva. I'm not talking aftershaves. I'm not talking cheap-ass Stetson and pharmacy colognes.
Did every
Mexicali Musk for Men.
Every dad in the 80s or 90s definitely had Brute, right? Like, without a doubt. Like, there wasn't a dad that didn't have Brute.
I'm talking, for the most part, our generation and my personal top. And if you disagree, that's fine. Everyone's entitled to their wrong opinion. So coming in at number 5 for me, this was not easy. Because I was like, do I go Fahrenheit? No, I'm going Jupe. Because everybody talked about Jupe in the 90s. Jupe is number 5.
I had a buddy, Jeff, and I still do. Hey, Jeff.
Hi, Jeff.
I doubt he's watching because, as you always say, no one that you really care about support you.
Right.
My buddy, Jeff, was convinced in the late 90s, like, I have this secret recipe of how I'm going to get all the girls. I'm like, what, Jeff? He's like, Jupe. And I remember us all being like, yeah, Jeff and his Jupe. Like, he was so...
Well, you know what? It's not really... Like, I was more of a Fahrenheit guy. I put them in the same category, maybe because they were both purplish. But it was so popular, I had to put it as a number 5. Like, people love to talk about it, and it stood out. Number 4 for me, Cool Water. Everybody had a Cool Water phase. It was different. It was good. Oh, it got so much ass. Cool Water at number 4. And just to make it snappy, Rich... One of my all-time favorites at number 3, Acqua di Gio, is still good. It still hits. That's a number 3 for me.
My theory is if you go with the wifey or girlfriend to an Ulta or a Sephora at the mall with your kid or wife, if it's still displayed prominently, then it's not out of style, right? I mean, if Acqua di Gio is still there in like the front showcase.
I'm not saying that you should rock all of these now. I'm saying all time. Some still hit.
Right.
But it also dates you. I'm letting that be known. I'm not saying that they don't, because they do.
I think it's a fair statement to say if you are a grown man, 40-ish or so, you have at one point in your life rocked Acqua di Gio.
Yeah,
without
still
a doubt.
Good.
Yeah.
Coming in at number 2, and sometimes a good number 2 is better than a number 1, is Jean-Paul Gaultier. Except I don't think mine has a bulge like that. I think mine has boobs, Spot. Yeah, I don't know.
No, I think you were in the...
Am I weird? Wait, does it have a bulge?
That's a bulge.
Oh, well, guess what?
Wait, is that how you dispense the cologne? You rub the bulge?
Can I tell you something? I still... Is that what you do? I still rock this after a shower because it has that fresh, powdery scent.
Imagine
I
if
still love it.
Imagine if they personalized the bottles and your Jean-Paul Gaultier came in a bottle shaped like your body.
Oh, man.
And it wasn't like a ripped dude with a bulge. It was like, my bottle has a bit of a dad bod.
And the all-time classic number 1, king of them all, I think it was the one that started it off for everybody when you became a man. Absolutely.
I know what you're saying because I even had an air freshener with this scent in my first car.
The king of them all. In fact... It should have a crown on it because it's the king of all the clones we grew up with. Is Drakkar Noir. Ba-bam. That will take you back.
Intense.
To the early 90s.
Powerful.
Immediately. It'll take you back to your Cavaricci days. The second you smell it.
Who's Guy LaRoche?
I don't know, but I think that's the number 1. That's my guy. That's who it is.
Adam LaRoche's cousin. Drakkar Noir was so popular back in the 90s for people around our age. You remember, I got my first used car, saved up my money. Grandma and Grandpa helped me. First thing I did after I washed that car, went to the gas station and I bought a Drakkar air freshener. They had this little sacks, remember like the sacks and they had air fresheners. That's how popular Drakkar was.
Such a great scent that went with the times, especially as a Guido kid from New Jersey. And Spot, do you have that meme that pretty much shows all of them? Because I know you're thinking we left some out. Couldn't fit them all in. They were all great. But that doesn't mean you should live in that era. Buy some new ones. I use one called Clean right now. I really am a fan of.
Is this a picture of your bathroom? Is that every cologne you have in your bathroom?
Those are the classics from the 90s right there. You see the Polos. Yeah. Shout out to Polo Black, the Hugo Boss. And you know what? I have some honorable mentions, Rich, because my real number 1, I was really debating this.
Yeah.
Is Bartolo. I don't know if you ever heard of it.
Cologne.
Bartolo is a classic.
And by the way,
it never goes out of style.
That joke never gets old.
I know.
I love it. My Bartolo cologne. But you know what? I think the best fictional cologne of all time.
Yeah.
If you're a fan of wrestling, when we were when we were kids, remember the gimmick Rick the Model Martel, and he came out with his arrogance And Spot, what do you call that thing he has in his, not a diffuser,
An atomizer?
An atomizer.
Like grandma? This is exactly why we have a bonus podcast called Overpromised, and this is why you need to check it out. It's on our new YouTube page where we're streaming live right now, Covino and Rich FSR on YouTube. Overpromised, episode 111. It's where we get to all the stuff we never have time for on the show.
Vent on the extra stuff. Like
Right.
we could have a whole 2-hour show based on, like you were just talking about our travel pet peeves.
Exactly.
I thought of another one, and Sam's like, yeah, that's. I said, you ever start watching a movie and the flight lands and you have like 10 minutes left in that movie, and then you have to. Then when you have to go home and somehow find the remainder of that movie.
Yeah. So there's so many of them. So please chime in at Covino and Rich at Fox Sports Radio. We'll try to get back to that and to all your phone calls. But right now, live from the Fox Sports Radio studios, Covino and Rich. And for over 40 years, Tire Rack has been helping customers find the right tires for how, what, and where they drive. Ship fast and free, backed by free road hazard protection with convenient installation options like mobile tire installation. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
All right. A winner for Mike's Words of Wisdom. Let's get this queued up. Let's go to Adam in Pennsylvania. Adam, what's up, my friend?
Hey, what's up, fellas?
Adam, I hope you win so we could just give you a prize and move along. Let's do this.
Yep.
If you can repeat what Mike said word for word, you get that prize. Let's go.
Yeah, I'll do my best. Before you judge someone, walk a mile in their shoes. That way, when you judge them, you'll be a mile away.
Well on his way, but just missed one little word.
You blew it! All right. Phoenix and Patrick, you're on. What's up, Mud? What's up, Mud?
Hey, what's up, fellas? How we doing?
What's up, buddy?
Hey, so before you judge someone, walk a mile in their shoes. That way, when you do judge them, you're a mile away and you have their shoes.
Yes!
Let's go! Phoenix! Patrick!
I like his inflection on that, too. Like, he left me like there was more to it, but there wasn't. I appreciate that.
Yo, Patrick, thank you for checking out the show, man. Appreciate it.
Yes, you're going to be added to our mailing list for Nerf football, okay?
No offense, go Jays.
Hey,
No
thank
offense,
you.
go Jays.
I appreciate that.
Razzing you.
No, hey, rooting for your team. It's all great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys, for playing along. We do that every Wednesday. You know what else we do? Something called Midweek Major.
What?
Covino and Rich get you over the middle of the week with Midweek Major.
Ooh, I love that.
We throw sports and pop culture headlines and topics at the fellas, and it's like the kids say.
That's so mid. Week, definitely major.
CNR scoring. Midweek Major.
I got to go really quick here to give Spotty 7 full minutes. All right, before we hand things over to the number one and only host, we are going to roll the 2 big red love dice. Looks like Covino went already.
I rolled a 7.
I rolled a 6.
So I win.
Covino gets the first take.
6-7.
6-7.
Please stop. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the most famous person besides Judy Bloom from Scotch Plains, New Jersey, Spotty Boy.
Hi, guys.
what's up,
Let's jump right in. We'll start with last night's Yankees game. That's more specifically who was in the stands, and that is none other than Super Bowl halftime performer, Babuni.
Babuni?
2 things actually happened last night. First, I'll start with the positive. He actually snagged a foul ball.
How is that possible?
He was just
never
sitting-
get a foul ball.
He was just sitting. I know you've never got a foul ball. He was just sitting in the stands. 3rd inning, Anthony Santander at the plate fouls one off. Ball goes up, lands right at his feet. Didn't even have to move. He just picks it up, takes it, throws it back in the stands. But the other thing that was going on, apparently during God Bless America, when everyone was standing up, enjoying, showing their patriotism, Bad Bunny's seen just sitting there, not making a move. So we got a lot of attention on that, especially over the controversy on the conservative side over his appearance at the halftime show, Super Bowl halftime show. So what do you think, midweek or major?
This is major. It really is.
Bubble.
And I gotta kind of edit myself. I don't want to come across like Eric Dickerson here. Because he went on a rant.
Yeah.
How does he not stand? He's performing at the Super Bowl, right? This is one of the most American things we have. and he's not standing for the national anthem, he's too cool for that? I don't know. I think that's going to rub people the wrong way. God bless America. He wasn't standing. Okay. And snagged the foul ball. He snagged nothing. And I'm not hating on Bad Bunny. I hope he does great. But he snagged nothing. He was kind of like, and it sort of fell, and he picked it up.
Yeah, I agree.
He snagged nothing. He
Snag
didn't catch
counts.
it.
No,
He got lucky there. But I do think it's a bad look. I think if you're trying to unite the country and we're trying to have a great time, we're trying to enjoy the Super Bowl, there's already a lot of criticism there. It's going to hurt you to stand up. You're at the game. Everybody's watching. Everybody knows you're there. Stand up and sing along.
I agree. I think this is major.
Definitely major.
Agreed with Covino on every front. So to be honest, if you want to just move along, I agree that he didn't snag a foul ball. He picked up a ball that fell on the floor. Difference. And honestly, I just think it's in bad taste. Politics aside, stand up for the anthem. Be respectful.
You're a U.S. citizen.
You're a citizen. Let's go.
Do it.
Isn't that the thing? Yeah, he is a citizen. So, and I'm not hating on the guy at all. I'm excited for his performance. I don't think it's going to help him. I don't think it's a positive.
Right.
Yeah.
It was in that moment, kind of a bad look.
It's not a uniting type of look.
Right. All right. News broke today. Conor McGregor stuck on the sidelines after an 18-month suspension by the Combat Sports Anti-Doping, which works with the UFC. And the reason? He just basically didn't show up. He ghosted 3 scheduled drug tests. So McGregor missed tests in June and September of 2024. And while he owned up to it, the penalty still stands. Technically could have been worse. He got 6 months shaved off for accepting responsibility. His suspension officially runs from September 20th, 2024 to March 20th, 2026, which means he will be able to appear at the official White House UFC celebration in June of 2026, which everybody is anticipating.
Yeah.
So midweek or major.
What do you mean appear? Like in the octagon or like in the stands?
Hey, he didn't. You got Aaron Judge on your mind? He said that it's backdated, so
It's
that
backdated.
year and a half actually ends before the White House thing.
He'll be able to participate.
So he's able to
Yes.
participate.
Yes.
Okay, I wasn't sure about that when I originally read the story myself.
Participate. I didn't mean
I
to
think
use the word
he's a
participate.
dope. I really do. I don't know how you miss these appointments if UFC and fighting again is your priority, but if that still means we get to see him at this big event, I'm okay with it. So this is major because you don't
Definitely
want to have
major.
this big event without big names like Conor McGregor.
Yeah, I think it's mid because I think either way,
That's so mid.
Donald Trump on his 80th birthday would have been like, I pardon him, whatever that would mean. But I think he would have made it happen anyway. So, I mean,
I do think you need another
Puff Daddy also wants a pardon.
headlining, a co-headlining fight. I think you need that. But
Yeah.
the fact that he's available for this, because he already made the announcement that it's signed and done, and it's a done deal. I think that's major. Yeah, we didn't want to risk him not being there.
All right, the NCAA officially approved a proposal that lets Division I athletes and staff bet on professional sports.
Bet.
Bet. So historically, student athletes have been banned from engaging in sports betting at any level, professional, college, or amateur, for any sports that have championships. But the NCAA is saying, go ahead. They're framing it as integrity protection and healthy habits. Somehow, in order for the proposal to go through, though, it would need to go for approval through Division II and III. The potential shift comes amid growing number of alleged betting violations in student athletes over the previous years. A lot of huge scandals have come out of that. So just trying to avoid that. Of course, fans are scratching their heads like, how can they let athletes participate in this? It's definitely conflict of interest. Midweek or major?
I'll say mid
Okay.
because gambling
That's so mid.
has become such a major mainstream part of even what we do, right? So I don't want to double talk and say this is terrible. Meanwhile, and sign up for this and that here on our show and use code Covino and Rich. But to promote this to student athletes, not just athletes, student athletes, to me is a little, I don't know, a little interesting. How about that for a good choice of words? Because shouldn't we be teaching them financial responsibility?
Yeah, I think this is major because, listen,
Definitely major.
slippery slope. Gambling is not for all, right? I mean, like gambling, we've taken it. We went from gambling's the devil to hey,
you're
every
a grown up though, Rich.
I know that's what I'm saying. Like
A responsible
you know,
grown-up.
where they prey on college kids. Hey, sign up for this credit card with a 24% interest rate for a beach towel.
I think I still have one.
I mean, like they prey on dumb kids. Like, you know how many college kids are going to get in gambling trouble? That's why, when you're an adult listening to Fox or ESPN or any network, you can handle gambling and doing a little parlay or something because you're a grown-up. These kids are the dummies that sign up, like I said, for credit cards and things they don't know the ramifications.
I'll say this respectfully, it feels irresponsible.
And because they're athletes, like, it's just a bad slippery slope. That's it.
If they're doing it anyway, though, is it better that it's now just sanctioned?
Yeah, I guess.
Nah, it's prohibited.
No, like I said, teach them financial responsibility. Don't make it okay.
Well, thank you,
All right.
Spotty.
Thanks,
Save
guys.
all your other stories for someone else.
Yeah.
No, let's go to Dan Byer for an update. DB, what's going on, man?
Guys, in the American League Divisional Series, there will be a Game 5.
Fly ball left field. It's deep. It's got a chance, and it's gone, a home run.
Wow.
Have a day. Javi Baez, 2-run shot, 7-3 Tigers in the sixth.
It was all part of 9 unanswered runs by the Tigers, scoring 7 times in the 5th and 6th innings. Tigers win today over the Mariners 9-3, win Game 4 to force a Game 5 in Seattle on Friday. Mariners are going to wait to name their starter. You know who the Tigers are going with. Tarek Skubal will get the ball coming up on Friday.
Oh, you know who's calling that? I thought it was. Is that Adam Amin? Adam Amin?
Adam Amin?
Adam Amin. Yeah, he's great. That's another great broadcast.
Yeah, this was Tigers
Adam
Radio
Amin.
Network on the call
Okay.
with that highlight. But
That's a good call, too.
Yeah, Cubs are on top of the Brewers 4-2 right now, heading to the bottom of the 4th inning at Wrigley. Brewers had 2 runners on base, however, not able to do anything with it right now. So it's 4-2. Cubs on top of the Brewers at Wrigley. Brewers up 2-0 in that series. Jays and Yankees about to get underway on Fox Sports 1 just after the top of the hour. Phillies and Dodgers 9 o'clock Eastern time tonight in their Game 3 in the National League. According to a report from The Guardian, North Carolina head football coach Bill Belichick has been in talks with the school about his buyout options as he could be on the verge of leaving the school. The report says assistant coaches have already reached out to other schools, with Belichick looking for another landing spot either in media or with another team. Even more, The Guardian reports that sources were quoted as saying Belichick has been weird and distant the past few weeks, and some assistant coaches have been unable to reach him during the team's bye week
That's
this week.
bad, man.
Yes.
It really is.
Yeah, it's
Very
not
weird.
good.
Bella Cheeks.
Bengals head coach Zach Taylor named Joe Flacco as the team's starting quarterback for their game Sunday against the Packers. The opponent had something to do with it.
He's played Green Bay this year, so he's already gone through a week of prep. Now the communication and the weekly rhythm is maybe different, unique, but he's already prepared for this opponent.
Yeah, so Flacco's going to get the start for Cincinnati. His former team, the Browns, they haven't decided who their backup's going to be. It'll either be Shedeur Sanders or Bailey Zappi. No practice for Lamar Jackson of the Ravens, Cardinals quarterback Kyler Murray, or 49ers quarterback Brock Purdy. And Bucs forward Giannis Antetokounmpo says he's committed to the team now that the season is underway. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, DB. And that's a great update. And, you know, Javi Baez with the big home run, just so much excitement. We can't hear what's going on, but we could see what's going on. It's just electric this postseason.
Yeah,
So
ratings are
enjoy
up.
it.
Ratings are up across the board, attendance, everything. So
Lots of big moments.
A great year for baseball. All right, hey, listen, there's a story in the NBA. I know we're talking so much football and we're talking so much baseball. NBA right around the corner, right? And there's a story, and it has to do with one of the big emerging stars in basketball, and it has to do with
growing and still growing.
And still growing.
Yeah.
We'll explain next right here on Fox Sports Radio.
And I know you're dying to talk about Taylor Swift.
As I live the life of a showboy.
Yeah.
I did listen to the new Taylor Swift album with my wife this morning.
I heard some of the songs because one of them is apparently about Travis Kelce's penis, and I'm not even making that up.
Oh, you mean Wood?
Yeah, it's called Wood. I'm sorry, Big Giant Redwood.
Redwood.
Well, it's not a song about the black dude that sits on the end of the bed. That guy, remember that guy?
Wood.
During COVID?
Wood. Yeah,
Maybe it is.
Barry Wood.
Maybe it is.
Maybe it is. But I'm just saying,
don't know.
By the way, I'm not making that up. I want to make sure that the Fox Sports Radio Nation understands that. I'm not just making a cheap joke.
I saw a clip where she says it's like knock on wood. It's about superstition. Being superstitious.
Hold on.
Of course, it's all double entendre and innuendo, but every major outlet's reporting that it's her raunchiest song yet.
How
and it's
could you-
clearly
how could you
about the
speculate?
nether regions of Travis Kelce.
The nether regions? Who
Yes.
are you? By the way, how could you have
I'm a
a
guy that took
conversation?
my human resource courses.
What
You should look
continent
into
is
them.
that on?
Nether regions. I don't think anyone's ever talked about Travis Kelce's nether regions. It's a great word. But how can you even have this conversation and then not go to me after you call me a Swiftie? I listened to the album this morning driving around with my wife. I told you we had breakfast. We had a nice little morning together. And the Taylor album brings up a conversation. And this is not going to be a Taylor Swift conversation on Fox Sports Radio. But what it is, it's a conversation
I'd
about
rather talk about Phil Swift, the inventor of Flex Seal, than Taylor Swift. That guy made a canoe out of a screen door.
How about
To
DeAndre
me-
Swift?
To me, that's more impressive.
That is really impressive.
Come on. Have you ever sailed on a screen door?
Could Taylor Swift do
courtesy
that?
of Flex Seal?
I mean, that is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Let me read you the lyrics from Taylor's new song.
Oh, you mean the song about knocking on wood?
Superstition?
That's what she said. I'm
know,
just
but-
quoting her.
Yeah, and she's not lying, but it's real. It's innuendo. It's all about his junk.
Listen, I feel like she is a pop music wizard. These songs all hit. The minute you hear them, you know they're all going to be hits. She's the Michael Jackson of this generation.
Oh,
as far
stop
as-
it. Oh, I'm sorry.
Sam, that's an argument you don't want to get involved with.
Yo, Sam just moonwalked right now.
I know.
All right.
I'm sorry. My correction, I was Sam. Bigger than Michael Jackson.
Whoa.
All right. So here's the chorus of Taylor Swift's new song, Wood. And I want to point out.
WOOD.
And I want to point out. This might make Travis Kelce like probably the most braggadocious dude. He could walk around today knowing that an album was released today with millions and millions and millions and millions of people listening to it. And here's the words. Forgive me, it sounds cocky. He hypnotized me and opened my eyes. Redwood tree, it ain't hard to see. His love was the key that opened my thighs.
Oh, it goes more. It continue.
Oh.
Yeah, but carry on because
I'm not going to carry on. Well, let me see where your hands are.
It
Get out of
talks
your
about
pants.
his manhood and everything else.
So she goes on and on to pretty much talk about what a great lover Travis Kelce is. So I made my list, and I want to see if you guys could debate this. When it comes to being complimented as a man, some of them are sincere and nice, and some are not that. Top 3. Compliment that you're a great dad. Compliment that you're a provider
I agree
and
with
like
you.
a man. Like
Yeah.
you protect the family and you provide for the family. That'll always make a man feel happy.
How about you make me feel safe?
Yeah, safe, you're a provider. That's it. That, you're a great dad.
What's the third one?
And
'Cause
the- and
actually,
the-
you're 2 for 2.
And the third one has to do with, yo, are you curling the toes? Are you a good lover? Your manhood.
You rock my world,
Do
man.
you rock her world in the bedroom? If a woman tells you you're a good dad, you're a provider that makes her feel safe, and you get it done in the bedroom, that is the trifecta of what every
Welcome back to the Showgram program. So pumped for tonight, man.
What time's your game start? 5 o'clock West Coast?
Yeah, gotta do the chauffeur gig. You know, I'm my daughter's personal chauffeur. And then go home, watch the game. Can't wait.
Has your daughter, who, by the way, Covino's daughter's almost 16, has she ever, like, demanded, like, Dad, you need to do this, like, during a key moment of a Yankees game? Get out of here.
Yeah, I taught her to beat it. I was like, what's that Michael Jackson song? Yeah, beat it. I ain't got time for that. Live from the Fox Sports Radio studio, business fluctuations make running your manufacturing business complex, but staffing your business doesn't have to be. Let Express Employment Pros provide the workforce you need. Go to expresspros.com, find a location near you. That's expresspros.com. And Rich.
Yeah, buddy.
On a sad note, I just want to throw this out there. You know I'm a fight fan.
Yeah.
Arturo Gotti's teenage son passed away at the age of 17, and they found him in an eerily situation, like same situation that they found his dad in when his dad died. So 17-year-old kid and promising boxer died, and the story's developing. So just throwing that out there. If you're a fight fan, you remember all the joy that Arturo Gotti brought you. Some of those legendary battles.
Oh, by the way, not to downplay that terrible story.
No, it's fine. It's a developing story that's just breaking in the past hour or so.
I have a retraction. Your Yankee game starts in 17 minutes.
Oh.
7:08 Eastern, 4:08 Pacific. So we get out of here in 5 to 10 minutes. You're going to have to listen to the first inning or so on the radio. As you drive your daughter around anywhere she wants to go. Dad, I want Starbucks. Dad, drop me a cheerleading. Dad.
And then Dodgers at 6:08 p.m. our time on the West Coast.
Now, I hope all your teams win. We'll talk about it tomorrow, and we'll also do a little old school and 50 hits. We reminisce on Thursdays, so join us tomorrow. But you did a little NBA tease, so you got to give some little payoff here.
Yeah, no, I was saying there's a story.
Maybe we can continue tomorrow.
And it has to do with growing a few inches.
Whoa.
That's what she said. Now, you've heard these stories before. Danny, I'm sure since you're more versed in the NBA world than we are, you always hear these stories of some of these guys that are NBA stars, went to college 6'1", and somehow sophomore year or, middle of college, they just...
Or between junior, senior year,
like one
they
summer,
sprouted 6 inches.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Some of the rookies in the NBA still growing.
My wife always tells a story about her cousin, who I know is like some 30-year-old beast who's like 6'6". They're like, oh, cousin, Charles, he was like 5'10", went to college, and all of a sudden,
they called him Pipsqueak.
Yeah, a little Pipsqueak, and just when you thought this guy couldn't get any more big and dominant, because he is starting to fill out, and as you know, when some of these big lanky guys start filling out, they become even more dominant. Put a little muscle mass on, they become men. Wemby is now listed in the Spurs media guide as 2 inches taller. Some places are saying he went from 7'3" to 7'5", and conservatively, some are saying, no, 7'3" to 7'4.5". So,
well, you know how tall he was when he was a freshman? 6'7".
Stop it.
6'7".
And you know what's crazy? He's 21, and they say it's very rare for men to grow after the age of 21.
That's what I thought, but I have seen it in my personal life too. People grow like that. So many questions here, but you think the guy is big enough and he can't get any better. Wembanyama just grew 2 inches in the offseason? What in the hell? He must be wearing height-increasing Nikes.
He looked like a giraffe when I saw him at that NBA event we went to in Vegas.
It's unbelievable. Like, Covino, you joked about something. Covino goes, you ever think a guy like Wemby will try to master some unconventional play because he's so long and tall that what if he just took off from the three-point line and almost did almost a finger roll? Because he could probably jump almost so far that or some type of little pump fake move where it's a three-pointer. Because no one has his size.
Absolutely, it would be.
No one has his size and agility. No one's ever been 7'5" that has...
Three-point finger roll. It's coming soon.
Covino said it first.
Yeah. Wait. He's still growing. It's possible. His arms are going to stretch out like Michael Jordan.
What he's saying is that if Michael Jordan could slam from the free throw line, Wemby could do some type of finger roll or short range, like floater or something. Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll talk more about it tomorrow.
Maybe so.
But props to him. He's still growing.
Hey,
we're Covino and Rich. Enjoy the rest of your games tonight.
Arrivederci, baby.
See you in the promised land. Go Yankees.
Go Dodgers.